Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and we are back with more Unreal World, continuing the Pacifist playthrough with our character, John. He is a fisherman and a farmer, most notably. Unfortunately, we have not started growing anything yet. We are still in the survival stage here. It's early spring, so the temperature is very low. John is struggling to keep warm and stuff, but we're making it. Things are going to be okay. At least I hope so. We have some self-imposed rules. So if you're new to the series, first of all, I have a link to the playlist down in the description so you can get all caught up if you'd like. But, well, like I said, the rules are basically we don't hunt whatsoever. We don't kill. No combat with humans or animals. That includes trapping too. So the only type of life forms we can eat are fish and plants, and that's it. And so far it's been okay. I mean, we're subsisting on mainly fish at the moment. We do have a good selection of seeds, but the ground in fact is just too frozen right now to even start planting. But getting started in spring gives us the opportunity to plant all the different plants here in the Unreal world because they are seasonal. Some of them you want to get in the ground earlier than others. Some of them you can actually get dual harvests on if you do it just right and your timing is good. But regardless, guys, the series is just new and fresh, just like it is here in the Unreal world, early spring. So hit that like button for me if you're excited. I hope if you're new, you'll consider subscribing to the channel. And with that said, let's see if John can survive for another day. John looks out over the lake near his shelter, and in the distance we can just see a break in the ice. Far out there, that is where we have placed our fishing net. It's the only fishing net we've got. We traded for it early on in the series, but it's in a very precarious spot, as you can see. Unfortunately, you can't set nets in the shallows by the shore here, so you have to go pretty far out. Normally, it wouldn't be so bad. We would construct a raft or buy a punt from a village and just boat our way across the lake, but in the dead of winter, you can't do that. You've got to make the trek out over the ice. So in order to distribute our weight a little bit better, I'm going to have my character lay down. We fall prone, and we're also going to keep a very close eye on our dialogue here. If it says you hear the ice cracking, we need to immediately turn around and get back to shore. We're not going to mess around and try and procure this net, with ice cracking around us. We'll just leave it until the thaw and come get it. It'll make things a lot more challenging, but all right, I'm just putting it off now. Let's continue to crawl. It's a pretty good distance. And again, if you're realizing too that as the spring comes closer and warmer, we're not going to be able to do this. That's, I think, why it's important to get it out here and check it often, because we need as much fish as we can get while we can still place this thing. Okay, so we're here. We're next to it safely. No, none of the ice cracked. I'm not even going to stand up. We're just going to check our net. Oh, sweet. We got a pike perch. Beautiful. Now, that's a bigger fish, right? 3.5 pounder. Okay, so could have done better, could have done a lot worse too, but now I'm going to go ahead and just reset the net in the exact same spot. No, what? Oh, it's partially frozen. Okay, yeah, so it's very cold out here. I think we're probably safe on the ice, but I'm not going to take any chances whatsoever. No, why is it not working here? Set the net? Saying that first you need to get on your feet. Oh, it is telling me to stand up. Whoopsie. Okay, well, there we go. I can do that. Alright, now we're better. And immediately fall back to your belly. Yep, we're going to go ahead and leave that. It's best if we leave it for a day or two, really give it some time. But, of course, it makes it a challenge. Like I said, we've got to stand here at spearfish in the meantime. So, really, the long-term goal at this point not only is to just feed ourselves, but to acquire a little bit more wealth that we can go trade for an axe, and a better knife would be really helpful too at this point. As John stands here on the world map, it's difficult to even see the tiny little lake that we have built our shelter next to, but despite that, this lake has been very bountiful for us. So when we zoom in, we are standing right next to the water's edge once again, and there are a couple of pikes at our feet. Now these were gotten through spearfishing with my crude javelin, so it has been a blessing because this kind of crude tool doesn't usually produce such good results, but we managed to come away with some decent food. So let's take a drink of that fresh lake water. We're going to eat some of the roasted bream that we've got in our pocket. Also, while we're looking in our pockets here, you'll notice I've got a couple of unidentified seeds. So we're going to use John's herb lore skill on both of these. Nope, failure. That's okay, and we'll try this one. Nothing yet. So we're still trying to identify some of the seeds that we started the game with, but it's not crucial. We could still plant those seeds even unaware of what their actual nature is, and we would just have to try and identify the plants whenever they grew, but they're going to be something useful, no doubt about it. So here we see our stack of fish. It's a modest stack. We've got a pike and that pike perch that we got from our net earlier. Of course, since they're drying, it takes nearly a month for these things to be ready, but I think what we're going to do with our current haul is we'll dry one and we'll roast the other. Since we've got less than 2 pounds of roasted fish at the moment, one of these pikes right here will be for tonight's supper. The other one is going to be for a month from now, probably for trading, but who knows? We can't predict what's going to be like in 30 days. Well, John is laying down on the ice again, and no, it's not because he's tired. We've been spearfishing all day, and unfortunately, we did not come up with anything. He finished off that pike, and it was delicious, so his cooking ability is on point, but we've got to see if there's anything in this net, and we're really hoping it is. Otherwise, we're going into starvation mode, quite literally. So let's go ahead and stand up. Let's not make the mistake I made earlier, and we should just be able to pick it up from next to us. Oh, thank God, we got a pike. Okay. It's, again, just one fish. I wish we'd get more of these, but eventually I think... yeah, we're going to be trying to get our hands on multiple nets, obviously, and a boat and stuff, and probably set up next to rapids on a river somewhere. So even in the deep winter like this or early spring, we don't have to worry about walking out on the ice. We can set our nets in nice, fresh, running water. Well, look at this. We've got some tracks. It seems that as John slept soundly in his shelter there, an ermine has come through. Yes, half-a-day-old big ermine tracks. So the ermine, or I think it's similar to a weasel, has told John that the fishing at his location isn't that great anymore. And also I've been getting notifications every time I actively fish saying that the pike are in season, but not at our location. So I think it's time for John to pick up stakes here and move. We don't have to move anywhere seriously far, but a new fresh location is probably good. And we won't forget about this spot because we still have our fish preparing there. So it's already been marked on the map. As you can see, we've got a camp set up right here. We'll try and find a spot. I think I see some rivers just over here connecting to these lakes. So like I said, we'll try and find some rapids, but before we leave, we have to retrieve that net. And as you can see too, by the temperature gauge in the upper left, the red above the middle bar means that it's starting to get a little warmer, so it's going to become riskier and riskier to come out here onto the ice. Let's pay close attention to the sound of any cracking ice. We see the net dead ahead. So far, oh, yep, here's the ermine tracks. He's come all the way out here. Well, he's a lot smaller than we are, so he can move in places we can't. But I'm going to go ahead and pick this up from this spot for the last time. Oh, wow, we caught 20 breams. Not too bad. How much is that exactly? 44 pounds? Are you kidding me? That's insane. I don't think I've ever pulled that much fish out of a net before. Oh, now that extra weight, too, will affect whether or not we can make it back on the ice. But luckily, we're pretty light. Even with the extra weight now, we're still under 100 pounds here total. So we should be okay. But wow, that's an insane amount of fish. No kidding. So we'll probably go ahead and dry half of that at least, maybe more. But I'm going to do it at this location too. Might as well. The only reason I'm nervous about traveling is because of his very scant clothing. So he's going to get cold real quick, especially in his hands. We want to avoid frostbite if possible. So we've got a little bit more to do here at the camp, but we are determined to set up a new spot somewhere nearby. Well, within easy traveling distance of our previous shelter, John has located exactly what we're looking for, some open water on the world map. It's difficult to see, but there it is, a tiny little break in the ice right along this river, and we are going to zoom in right next to it. Of course, this signifies rapids. Oh, look at that fresh, beautiful blue water there. Yes, it is fast moving. We certainly don't want to step into it, not just because of the fast moving. It's way too cold for us right now, so trying to place our net will be potentially difficult. Well, let's just try it here at this location, see how the depth is. Nope, can't set it here, the water's not deep enough, so it's either we find another spot where the ice juts out close to the edge of the rapids, which is usually possible. Yep, here we go. So we could do what we did earlier, which is lay down and move out to a spot that's a little deeper. I think it's probably deep enough here. This is the positive part about this, is we don't have to go so far out. Let's see something. Oh, we have to stand up then. I always forget that. No, can't set it there. All right, let's lay down. Let's move along the water's edge a little bit more. Very careful here. Stand up again. Try this net. Not quite yet. All right. Okay, let's see. And of course, this will make active fishing much, much easier too, even with just a spear. Now I don't have to break the ice constantly, waste time doing that. All right, net here. No, still not deep enough. Darn it. I was hoping we'd catch a break and it would be deeper here in the rapids, but no such luck. So, all right, one last try here before I get cold feet. Whew, okay, boom. So now we know there is a spot out here. It's about equidistant from the shore from the last one was. So no doubt about it. It's a better spot overall, I think. So I'm going to choose a nice little spot for a shelter here, and we'll set up camp. If that isn't a good sign, I don't know what is. So the very first attempt at fishing here at the river's edge produced a pike. Very, very good. So that's helpful. Probably be the first fish we start to dry at this location. Let's go ahead and just do that. Doesn't take long when you've got just a single fish. Got some cordage made up. There we go. So you know what? That reminds me, I need to mark this location as a camp too. So this is our camp spot number 2. And we've got some fish here. So it is important that we come back to this at some point. As you can see, I've got myself set up right next to this pine tree. We can lean against this or kind of hide under the branches as it rains and snows around us. But it's been about a day since we went out onto the ice. I think it's probably good to get out there and check our net. I don't like doing it, but this is our only option at the moment. All right, let's see what we got here. I don't know if we'll get a haul like the last time, but oh, we got ourselves a perch. Very nice. How big is that? The perch is 1.5 pounds, 1.3. I mean, it's not incredible, but it's better than nothing. All right, let's throw that back in there. Beautiful. And fall to the ground. Slide on our belly. Again, now if if it gets too thin, the ice does, to get back out there, it's not the end of the world, because I can construct a raft, as long as we have 1 or 2 ropes. I think we can make a raft and get out there and get that. Also, if we catch enough fish and dry it, and wait a couple weeks, we can buy our own punt, but it'll take a lot of fish for that. So we've got our work cut out for us, but there we go. We've still got about 9 pounds of roasted bream, so this one's getting dried as well. Beautiful. There we go. Small hours of the morning, very dark outside. John was just about to build a little fire and try some fishing today when we, of course, did our routine herbalism exam. and we discovered what these seeds are. They are yarrow seeds, edible. Boiled, it promotes sweating, which can cool the body during fever and remove toxins. We are not confident in recognizing it in all occasions. So in other words, that means there's other properties too, most likely, or that we wouldn't necessarily also notice it by the flower of the plant, just the seeds. But we've got another batch here. There we go. Didn't recognize what those were, but it's hit or miss. Usually miss with herb lore. But I am going to continue to try. Now, let's take a quick look at the stack of fish I've managed to accumulate. So right now we've got a pike, a perch, a trout, a burbot, another perch, and another pike. The soonest of which won't be ready for 20 days. So you can tell I have been working hard, checking on the net whenever I feel comfortable. That's what we're going to do right now. And I've even come out onto the ice a couple times and tried my hand at fishing out here. Not really to see, it doesn't seem like it's any better luck necessarily, but I just thought I'd try it. Oh, 3 breams and a trout. That's pretty good. All right, let's toss that baby back in the water. We're having some real good luck with this net. I think basically picking this up is what has allowed this playthrough to succeed so far. Certainly wouldn't be possible to do this without fish. You couldn't do a totally vegetarian run, or if you did, it wouldn't be possible in the early spring without a little bit of help and a lot of trading. But regardless, I think we're off to a good start here, guys, with this one. This will be a good place to end. Right now, it's just a lot of the repetitiveness of survival, waiting for the ground to thaw. So I have definitely been trying my shovel from time to time, but it's still just a little bit too frozen to dig. So you can believe, though, as soon as we do, we're going to lay out a little garden. And in fact, this spot we've chosen has a nice clearing to the left of us. So we've got a lot of room to expand and start our agricultural stuff. But I'm looking forward to the day when the ground becomes thawed out and the grass starts to show itself. I hope you guys are too. Stick with the series. It's going to be a fun one. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel, of course. And I will see you all on the next one. Hey everyone, I just want to give a personal thank you to my Patreon supporters. Their contributions help make my work possible, and I am tremendously grateful to them. I'd also like to extend an invitation to you to help support my work on Patreon as well. Your donations allow me to upgrade my PC and avoid the dreaded hardware despair. It also gives me more time to devote to new projects and create longer content such as live streaming. No matter what you decide, thank you for visiting my channel.